this past week I opened up a case of the brand new One Piece set Royal Blood, or OP-10. Now, this is the first case I have ever opened in my life, and in today's video we're going to basically do a overview or a review over the set in general from a collector's perspective, but we're also going to go over every hit that I got. I'm going to have updated values and we can kind of see how we did, okay? So, what I would highly recommend, if you haven't already seen me open these, there's going to be a lot of spoilers, of course, because we're going to go over every hit, so I would highly recommend go watch my 4-part series of me opening up this case. I will leave a link in the description below for part 1, as well as a card on the top right corner of the screen right now, and that will take you to the series. Now, I mentioned this towards the end of the opening. I think it's going to be quite an obvious answer that yes, I thoroughly enjoyed opening up a case. I think anytime you open a case for the first time, there's something quite intimidating but also exciting about it, right? I mean, 12 booster boxes is a lot, and that's obviously something that I've never done before. I usually do booster boxes in sets of 3s if I'm going to do an opening on the channel. So opening 12 booster boxes in a row was quite a lot, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and it seems like a lot of people also enjoyed watching opening it. So I do plan to do another one, and I think doing a video like this, kind of doing an overview and figuring out the values of everything that we got, will be like a very good reference point, right, from a case-by-case perspective, so we can compare sort of how we did in each case that we open. I can't say I'm going to open a lot of cases, because they're obviously very expensive, but I'm definitely going to do another one, and I think I'm going to kind of format it in the same way. But in general, I may start doing just set reviews of a brand new set, and just kind of give my 2 cents. I kind of do that throughout the opening too. But anyway, let's move on now to the values. So we're going to go over all the cards that we got. We're going to start with, of course, there's only really one rare that's worth mentioning, and it's this Tony Chopper. We'll go into the values here in a second, but we're going to do this all in order of sort of pull rates or pull chances. So obviously you're guaranteed a lot of rares. You're guaranteed 7 super rares in each box, so that's why we've got a lot of those. We'll do the secret rares next, which is usually one of your 3 hits generally, or 2 hits. They're usually a little. We got 8 of them, I think. So 8 out of the 12 boxes have them. We've obviously got all your alternate arts, and then your alternate art leaders, and then our SPs at the end as well. So we're going to present them in that order, and what I'm basically going to do now is show you the value of the card on screen. I'm basically going to do a minimum, so I'm doing the pricing as of April 2nd. So basically, I'm going to show you the lowest possible price it's sold for, and then the highest possible price it's sold for. Obviously, there's going to be a lot that are just in between those between that price range, but I'm going to show you literally the lowest sold, and then the maximum it's sold for, and then I'm going to kind of put those values on screen. So these choppers, anywhere from like $3 to $5, so it's going to be like a $45 to $75 in terms of value, because we've got about 15 of them. And then let's go ahead and move on to our SRs. So these are the ones that, like I say, you're guaranteed 7 in each box. So I have put these, I'm going to present these in lowest to highest order. So Doffy is technically the least valuable card in the set for the SRs. I saw one sold for 21 cents and one sold for $1.75. I think that 95-cent range is about really where the medium is. 75 cents is kind of a nice sweet spot too. So if you just say $1, it's about $9, I would say. We got 9 of the Doffys here. So again, this is where it's going to be interesting, kind of seeing not just the price range, but how many we actually got. So we got 9 Doffys. We're going to move on to Corazon now, and it was a decently priced card. I saw one sell for about 60 cents, but as high as $2. So that I think I put these in the video at about $1.30. So that seems about right. That's sort of the happy medium for these. We also got 9 of them, so that is about anywhere from probably like 5 to 18, but realistically probably like $10, $12 there in those. And I do need to mention this just to make sure. I was going to say this at the beginning or even at the end. I do not recommend you doing a case for profit. This was for fun. This is just an idea to get the good values. You're never going to guarantee sell all of these. But, you know, just don't see this as an investment. We got 9 Rebeccas, which was interesting. It's about $15 odd, I would say. It says $9 to $20 in terms of minimum to maximum. But I'd say it's, about $10, $12 there. We move on to Monet, which was anywhere from like $1.50, but all the way from, I think I saw one at 76 cents, all the way up to like $2.30. We only got 7 of them, which was interesting. So about $5 to $16 there on the minimum to maximum margin. Then we have Kairos next, of course, which I did actually enjoy this artwork. These SRs are pretty cool. I did quite enjoy the selection that you've got, and some of them are quite playable. So Kairos minimum was about $1.50, all the way up to basically nearly $3. We only got 7 of him, so that's roughly around $10 to $20 there in terms of value, which again was interesting. So 7 Monets, 7 Kairoses, so far those have been the least that we've managed to pull. And then we have Captain Kidd, which I think was one of my favorite SRs, a beautiful looking card, and I think decently useful as well. Only 7 of them as well, so again, kind of a higher value, but still not as many pulled, so about 7 in the 12 total boxes in the case. We next have Kuzon. So Kuzon's a pretty solid card. It's anywhere from like nearly $4 to nearly $6, so it's in that sort of range. There's not too many super low ball sales on this one. This is quite a useful card, so probably anywhere from $30 to $40 in value for them. And then, of course, we have Smoker. I was pricing these at about $7 in the video. They have dropped a little bit, but it's really solid, right? Pretty much bang on $5, $6. We did get 9 of them, though, so that does help the bottom line there. So anywhere from $36 to $60 there, depending on, you know, the mid-max or the minimum maximum there. The last 2 SRs were the most valuable. Tashigi at one point was the best. It's anywhere from $6 to nearly $12. I've only saw one person sell it for that much. It's still around the price I set it for, which is about $8.40. It's in that sort of sweet spot. But we got 10 of them, so that's really good. So the cool thing about this case, in terms of now the overview, the 2 best SRs you can get value-wise, we got the most of. So we got 10 Tashigis, and then we move on to Sonji. This card blew up. Now, I was pricing it at $9 on day 1. I saw consistent sales at $15, $16, $17. So I'm not saying you would be able to sell it for that, but we also got 10 of them. So realistically, if you got really lucky and you did sell them for $17 a pop, that's $170 in SRs alone. So not too bad on the value there. We're going to move on to the secret rares. So like I said earlier, hinted at earlier, we only got 8 of these, and there's only 2 in the set, so pretty consistent across the board there. We got 4 of these beautiful Monkey D. Luffy's, you know, about $20 to $30 in value there. It's pretty much bang on $5. I think I had it at $7.99 in the video, so not too far off. And then Trafalgar Law, this was at one point like a $30, $35 card. It has kind of gone down a bit. Saw a couple sell for $21. It's really sitting at $25, $27. So for there, it's still about $85, $100. So decently priced. I imagine quite playable, so that's why it's kind of still at a nice sweet spot. We'll move on to the alternate arts now. The Doffy was actually the worst or the least value out of the entire case. Still about $10, $15, so, you know, you're looking at $20, $30 for the 2 there. And then with the single, we got the single Monet, which has kind of spiked here and then the past couple of days. I've seen it go for about 11, but then I've also seen it go to 17, so it's kind of got an interesting... Same with Kairos, 13 to 25. Only a couple sold for 25. So it's kind of, again, those 2 are really in that nice happy medium right now. The Plague of the opening, Cavendish, we got 3 of these. I mean, come on, you could have just given me a Divine Departure. This is where I feel like we got unlucky, but decent value still. It's like, you know, $45, $50, depending. It's still about a $15 card, so not too bad on the value there, but, you know, wish I could have gotten a couple more things. This card kind of has dropped a little bit. You know, I think I had it at about $22, $23, which I think is still the nice spot for it, but it was at about $19 a minimum sold. Same with Luffy here, but I did see a couple go for $25, so it is in that $38 to $50 range for the 2 there. And then this card is basically the last card on the first page, so it has sold for more $22, $23, but it is in that $19 to $24 range. Nothing crazy there. A lot of these type of cards are going to have like a $5 fluctuation between everything. That's quite normal especially with a new set as well. This kid I thought was beautiful. I don't think it deserves to be a $21 card. I do think it is. It should be still like a $27, $25, $27 card. It feels like it should be about there. Same with Rebecca as well. But because this is Rebecca, you are going to see more of these sell for $30 rather than $21. So I think that's going to be a card that you would probably want to hold on to at the $30 range. The double Toshigis have gone down. These were $50 cards. They are, I've seen anywhere from $32 to $40. So two of them, it's about $80 max, but you're probably looking at about $70 flat for both of those. And then obviously we got the Smoker as well. Would have been nice to actually get another one of these. I would have taken another Smoker over Cavendish, I'll tell you that much. Would have been nice to have a pair here. That's gone down a little bit. It's still kind of around the same price, but it's probably gone down about $7 since I did the original value of Smoker there. Some people did still sell it for $58, which is actually higher than what I listed it as, but only one person really managed to sell it for that. I am doing all these on last sold on TCG Player, which is generally the lowest of the low balls, because you don't really have pictures. So it is quite accurate when it comes to pricing. If you do it on eBay, a lot of these are going to be higher. The Sugars were in the alt leaders now. The Sugars dropped down. They're about 27 a piece. And the Usops, some did still sell for 58, 59, which is, I think I listed it at 57. So not too bad on the value of Usopp, but Sugar has definitely gone down. Bit unlucky. This is where we got really unlucky. I think we could have had 4 uniques, and instead we got 2 of the exact same card. So that, I think, was pretty unlucky, to be fair, for a full case. This SP, Arouge was... I mean, again, you can't be too mad about SPs, but in terms of rolling, in terms of, because when you buy the case, you're guaranteed, it seems, 2 SPs. We rolled on the lower end on Arouge. That is the worst SP value-wise. Sanji isn't. It's sort of... Sanji could go in value. I've seen it anywhere from 7. It's minimum 70, but it can go upwards to 80. And who knows? Maybe a couple months from now, people will realize how beautiful this card is, and influencers like myself will pump it up and say, "Stock, this is a stock. You got to buy this up. This card right here." So it could change its value. SPs and big chase cards are always going to change their value, even months after the fact. But I think I did enjoy those. Minimum, we're looking at about 982. Maximum, 1460. So you're losing money regardless. Like I say, the case for us was about 1600. If you want to, be generous and throw in all the other bulk that we got, and I just pump all that on TCG Player, maybe if we're generous, 50 other bucks on top of that. But ultimately, that's what we're looking like. I would say it's more in between. I think maybe you could get $1,000 if you did sell everything back. So, like I say, it's not an investment. Don't treat it like an investment, because you're not going to make money off it. But otherwise, a thoroughly enjoyable experience, which is what it's meant for, and honestly, a really fun set. I really did enjoy it. I found the whole body change sort of theme they had going on here is a very good touch. I did thoroughly enjoy it. The SRs, like the Sanji SR, and obviously being Sanji in Nami's body, these are iconic scenes in the Punk Hazard arc, and I just think if you enjoyed that arc, then this is definitely going to be a very fun set to open. Even a buddy of mine was saying, he just kept saying how much he loved the, I think it's the Frankie Common, where it's Frankie in Chopper's body and Robin's in the background sort of in disgust. I mean, he literally laughed out loud the first time he saw that card, So I think this set offers a lot of cool artworks, even from the commons and uncommons. But then also has, like the Toshigi and the Smoker. I think those alternate arts look beautiful, and the body swap sort of theme that they've got going on are very cool. I unfortunately didn't get my really 3 big chase cards. We were really looking for the Whitebeard SP, and, obviously I wanted to get the manga, but I knew that the chances of that were obviously still pretty low. But obviously, Ty, the guy who got the box for us, he really wanted the Whitebeard, and I really wanted to try and pull that for him. But my other 2 hits that I really would have liked, obviously the Smoker alternate art leader would have been really cool to get, so I really wish we got one of those instead of another Sugar, or actually any Sugars in general. I would have definitely preferred that. And Divine Departure, of course. Divine Departure, the artwork looks incredible, and I really wish I could have seen it in person. Just looking at the pictures online make it seem absolutely beautiful. So I think for those reasons alone, OP-10 is a very fun open. I really did enjoy, like I say, the commons and uncommons. That first box when you open it through, I genuinely had a really fun experience opening this set. It has a nice variety of the crew, but also, like, again, that Punk Hazard arc, which is very unique. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. There's quite a lot of playable cards as well. I really haven't dived too deep into the new sets and the new decks and things like that. So I do need to study that, of course. But I imagine, usually when you see 40, 50 cent uncommons, generally, or rares even, generally that means that they're used in a couple new decks, or their support for a couple new decks. So we obviously had a pretty big ban a couple weeks ago before this set came out, so I'm sure some of the new cards in OP-10 sort of make up for that. So overall, like I say, thoroughly enjoyed myself, thoroughly enjoyed the opening. I think, like I say, we definitely got a good couple cards for the collection, for both Ty's and I's collection. Obviously, we're not going to sell all of that. I just kind of did a value just to kind of get a gauge of how well we did compared to, how much the case was. And I think we did pretty good. Again, I think it's not going to be the maximum. It's not going to be the minimum either. I think it would be a nice, happy medium in between. So hopefully Ty enjoys that because, it was him that got the box, or the case. Hopefully he likes those numbers. Either way. Like I say, it's not an investment. It's for fun. Don't treat it like an investment. Buy singles if you want to go down that route. That's the best strategy or the best advice I could give you. This is just fun gamba, and that's all it really should be. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I have some videos and some more openings planned later this week, and of course, quite a lot planned this month as well. So make sure you stay tuned, liked, subscribed, notified, ring-a-ding-ling that bell, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.